I've been studying equine behavior science for 12 years. I've been all over the world literally looking for the information that I now interlace into everything that I teach. Okay? People and horses need a new way to be together. And I'm finding that way through my own journey and my own education, and that's why I'm here, is to share that with you guys. Because I know that you guys are here to expand your knowledge, probably because you could maybe want to, be with your horse in a different way, or in a better way. So my whole deal is to help people and horses to understand each other better so that we can get along better, so that our days at the barn are actually the Zen moment of the day that you want it to be. We're going to look at the horse's behavior for what it is as equus caballus, not Homo sapiens viewing equus caballus. Okay? We have to, in order to do that, we actually have to remove some of our ego. Because when our ego gets in our own way, we stop listening to our horse because we start judging what the horse is doing. Well, you did it yesterday, you should be doing it today. So what do? We push harder, we talk louder, we get bigger, we put on more pressure, and the horse goes, I can't! And then you're losing leadership points, because then your horse can't trust you to be consistent with how much pressure you put on. But the whole time your horse is telling you, I can't. You're just not reading it. So this horse is cinchy, which Jessica and I talked a little bit about her horse. And she feels that Notch is cinchy because she is claustrophobic. So Jessica, what I'd like you to do is to walk over to the saddle and allow her to sniff it. You don't have to allow her to eat it. She can sniff it. Don't make her sniff it. Don't ask her to sniff it. Just offer it. And if she doesn't want to, that's a good clue right there. Beautiful. Now, to be fair, Jessica did this not in this way, but she did this. She and I talked about a week ago, and I said, you know what? Let's start working on this now. She made a small change like this, and she got a small change in the behavior from her horse. That's what I'm talking about. That is perfect. I brought that bareback hat today to use as a tool in case we need it. Not for riding bareback today, but because it has a super long latigo on it that I can lift up and release, which is what? Approach and retreat, approach and retreat. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about when I say using the horse's nature as a guide. Okay? Getting tighter and looser is the same thing as approach and retreat to a horse. Beautiful. So she hasn't licked her lips yet. You guys all know that horses lick their lips when they're thinking and when they have understanding. I'd like to add something to that. When the horse licks his lips or her lips, it doesn't just mean I get it. It means I get it and I'm okay with that. I've seen a lot of horses have a lot of understanding and still be scared, still be nervous, still be skeptical, which is in their nature. It's in their nature to be skeptical. This is my little handle here, okay? And just walk along and ask your horse just to follow you, and she will be following that thing. So you're trying to sniff it, it's like her nostrils are flaring and she's still not really sure. She's doing it because she trusts Jessica, and by the way, Jessica, she doesn't want to be that close. You can let the rope slide out of your hand a little bit and allow her to not be that close to it, because that too is approach and retreat. So that the horse can gauge their own approach and retreat by hanging back a little bit and not coming in contact with pressure. She's getting closer and closer and closer, isn't she? That means she's getting more and more confident, less and less skeptical. How do you think she feels, you guys? She's on the fence right now between staying here and leaving. Right? You can see it in her face. I have no pressure. I'm touching her like this, like a feather with the skirt. That's how I'm going to encourage her to think about it instead of react to it. So the whole point is to have this mare think about this process instead of react to it. Best thing to do is wait. Every time. She's like, how are you doing that when you're standing up by my head? That's exactly why I brought this, because I want her to experience it in a different way, so that she has new learning about it that can overlay some of the old stuff, that can help her to change her mind about what the cinch is. So now I have it on her, but I'm just doing a little pulse, like a little tiny, tiny, tiny pulse. And she felt like she needed to readjust her balance. And she's still skeptical about it. She's going to be skeptical about it. But going through these steps gives her time to think her way through it. She's never been offered the opportunity to think her way through the saddling process. And she needs it. Every horse needs it. Some horses get through it faster. Being prepared to take however much time your horse needs is part of meeting your horse's needs. It's part of being what your horse needs